welcome back, and of course, still Morning Flakes on New Dawn this lovely Wednesday morning. I did mention earlier on that by the time we come back, we'll be having a light interview, and of course, we have our guest in the house this morning. So, Miriam.
Yes, we are being joined by an amazing author. Matter of fact, when I saw her, I was I was indeed motivated, and I was challenged.
So you're attempting to write too?
I am tempted to.
Okay.
You know.
So that's very good.
You know, there's this anonymous quote that says, authors are not just writers, they are also seers.
Yeah.
They see what we don't see, and that's why they tell us so much when they write. Today we are being joined by Silva Abiodun Enadahe. Did I get your name correctly?
A little bit.
A little bit. Please tell us your name.
My name is Enadahe Silva Abiodun.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So, I'm going to say first, you motivated me this morning to be an author. How did you start the whole thing? When did you know that you needed to write? Well, before you do that, Abiodun is joining us today because of this, you know, it says Whispers and Whispers, quite an amazing title, and I'm yet to know what Whispers and Whispers is all about, but I know you are here to tell us. So let's start the conversation by you telling us what motivated you. Why do you feel like you needed to start writing?
I read storybooks a lot, and when I passed the primary 3, I thought that why don't I write storybooks of my own? Okay. Because I read storybooks that were really interesting, especially the ones of Professor Wole Soyinka.
Really?
Yes.
Ah, that's interesting. How old are you?
I'm 11 years old now.
11. What class are you?
Yes.
JSS1.
Okay. So which of the stories Wole Soyinka's books have you read so far?
I've read The Lion and the Jewel.
No.
Okay.
The Death and the King's Horseman.
Okay.
No. Wow.
The Adventures of Rajiro. The Dead Man.
Okay.
And that's all I can remember.
Okay. You
At what age did you start reading all of this?
I started reading them at age 7.
Age 7?
Yes.
I was reading Munchie and Tortoise at age 7. I mean, I can remember that. But you were reading books that those in tertiary institutions most likely would read. All right, let's talk about writing for you before we talk about books. Do you feel is there a feeling for you when you write? Do you feel this accomplishment? Do you feel excited? Do you feel like this is what I always want to do and I feel good writing it? And how do you do it? Do you get a piece of paper, you start writing them down? Do you get help from anybody? How are you able to do that?
I have a personal book where I write my stories.
Okay.
So I just sit down, I start writing the stories, I just think of things to write, I put them together, I make a title, and no one really helps me but they read the story I write.
So
what inspired you?
I was inspired by Professor Wole Soyinka.
Oh, I really hope he's watching right now. He must really be proud. I'm going to ask you this. The title of your book, is this your first book?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Which year did you publish this?
I published it last year.
Last year.
Yes.
Whispers and Whispers. What does that mean? The front page has a little girl whispering to her father. You know, if I try to understand, it's like telling her father some secret or something. But, you know, you're here, so tell us.
So the story is about secrets that people really don't know. But I wrote it in the storybook. It happens, it is a real life story. So it talks about some people and their beliefs. So
What do you know about people and beliefs?
Like the feeling they have towards things and people.
Okay, so you were talking about Whispers and Whispers?
Yes, it aims at evocating mysteries. It is a mystery to read. When you read it, you see that these things are happening in in the world. It is really happening in the world. So I just put it in a book so that those people that don't really know, they get to read and understand how the world is.
Okay, so what's one thing, or one of those beliefs you wrote here?
Some people really don't like girl child, so they think about having a male child, like the male child is superior to the girl child.
I'm not crying. I'm not crying. Okay.
So I write that the girl child is really important. It's not only the male child that can be successful in life. The girl child can also make it in life.
So how long did it take you to write this book?
It took me like a year.
A year.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Was there a form of push? You know, mommy, daddy saw you and said, oh, I think it's high time you come out from your shell. I think it's high time you let people see your work. We're going to help you do this. Or was there a push from anybody?
It was from my primary 5 teacher.
Oh, what's his name?
Miss Shole.
Okay.
So she saw me writing I was writing at break time in the class, so she read the book and she saw that it was really interesting. So she told my parents about it, and my parents decided that they want to let the whole world know about my writing.
That's interesting.
So, Seba, when you write your books, do you take into consideration your readers as well?
Yes, sir.
Who are your readers? Who are the people you wish?
Your targeted audience?
I think everybody should read it. They should understand. They should understand it. Because it has moral principles in it.
I don't know the feeling right now, to be honest, Double J. I don't know how to quantify my feeling. You are 11 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
Ordinarily, we would see 11 years rides on, snake, monkey, jumping, daddy and mommy cooking. I think you are an exceptional child. I think you have a great talent. And I'm really proud of those people who discovered you way early to help you push your dreams.
So, Seba, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
I see myself as a famous writer, traveling the world, distributing my books, and I just see myself as winning the Nobel Prize award, just like Professor Wole Soyinka.
Oh, bravo.
Is it okay to say Professor Wole Soyinka is your role model, or do you have another role model?
I also see Chinua Achebe,
Okay.
but Professor Wole Soyinka is my role model.
Your greatest role model.
Nice, interesting.
Have you met?
No, sir.
Would
No.
you love to meet? I mean, wishes could come true. You don't know who is watching right now. It could be that he's watching. Do you want to say something to Professor Wole Soyinka?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to say?
I want to say that I really love his books. I really wish to be like him, and he's like a father to me.
Oh, like a grandpa. That's so sweet.
So, considering the fact that you are still in school, how do you find time to write?
I use my holidays or weekends to write.
Do you think your friends, your play group, your schoolmates, do they see you as being weird when you do not, play when they are playing, or do the same thing? Do they see you like a competition, or they see you like you don't know what you're doing, or they see you like a model, Oh, I like what you're doing.
They see me as a model.
They do?
Yes.
How does that feel like?
It feels amazing.
So would you say every 11-year-old girl, for instance, or every 11-year-old child should do what you're doing? Would you advise anybody like of such age to do the things you do?
Yes, ma'am.
Why would you do that?
Because with that we can change the world. We can make it a better place. So I'll just advise the 11-year-old child to also write stories and maybe other talents can also help change the world to be a better place.
What difficulties do you face when writing?
Are there
Any challenges?
problems?
No problem at all? Just pick your pen, pick your jotter and you write your stories, that's all.
Yes, sir.
I know you were taught
Just
in
like
school.
that.
I know you were taught in school.
Are you a literature student?
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
I know you were taught in school the use of words, punctuation marks, grammars. How are you able to channel that for your writing? How are you able to know that the word is slept, not sleep, when you're in past tense? You know those grammatical errors? I made a lot of them when I was 11. So you don't tell me you do not make those errors because I would just call you a superhero right now. So how do you manage that?
I know them. I am a little bit good in English. And it's also the work of my editor.
Okay, you have an editor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Interesting. Let me read the first paragraph of your book, Whispers and Whispers. You said whispers carry secrets echoing through the ages. Some are the whispers of joy, others of sorrows. Within this collection, you find tales that explore the various essence of human nature, where kindness clashes with cruelty, and even the smallest choice can ripple into unexpected consequences. How did you know all of this?
It's in my storybook, so the editor just wrote it out. And he asked me a few things about the book. I told him and he figured it out. He wrote it in the book.
So your first storybook, where you wrote your book, your writings, do you still have it?
Yes, ma'am.
You're able to keep it?
Yes, ma'am.
So in that book, are there just whispers and whispers, or there are many other collections there? If I grab that book now, am I going to see more stories there, or it's just whispers and
Yes,
whispers?
ma'am. There are more stories in the book.
And you wish to publish them someday?
Yes, ma'am.
So did you publish this yourself or you go through the traditional way of publishing?
I went through the traditional way of publishing
Why?
because that way is easier.
It makes it easier.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I really hope parents are watching,
So,
teachers.
for instance, this particular book, have you taken it to the Ministry of Education?
Now we're planning to do that, but it's selling in Edo State.
Sorry?
Let's talk about the sales. It's selling in
In Edo
Edo State.
State,
Are you
okay.
beginning to sell here in Ogun, like your school?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's nice. So if I need to get a copy of Whispers and Whispers, where can I go to get them?
You can meet my parents and they will give you the copy.
Okay.
I wish your parents, one of them was here, to get more information about that, because I don't know your parents. I don't know if I would see them. I'm hoping that someday...
I hope if it's taken to the Ministry of Education, could be adopted into the curriculum of the school. And can use it. It's a nice book.
Well, we still have joining us with us today, Silva Abiodun, and she's been talking about her book, Whispers and Whispers, which, she said centers around the belief of people in the society. I want you to take us back again to the theme, the Whispers and Whispers. You mentioned trying to change some narrative about people. First of all, what were those things you saw that, made you wanted to write this book? I know you mentioned it earlier, but I need you to resound it again.
There was a friend of mine, she was going through the same thing. Her father didn't really take care of her. He would always maltreat her mother, saying that her mother should give birth to a girl every
A boy child.
So from there, I started writing my stories. That's how I said I should change it. It should not happen to any other person again.
How is that your friend right now? Did she know that you wrote something about her and people like her?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, I want you to know that you're an inspiration to a lot of people. I want you to know that you're doing a very good job. We're very proud of you.
So, in your writing, what do you want to major in? Is it prose, drama, which one?
Prose.
Prose.
Yes, sir.
Okay, why?
Because I really like prose. It is
More than drama.
it is not as complicated as
Because in drama, you need to break down into characters.
and I love reading prose than drama.
Drama, okay.
Interesting.
So aside the Living Powers books, which other books have you read so far?
I've read the books of Chinua Achebe,
Okay.
like The Boy and the River. I've read other books by other authors also, a female author.
But we are so married to Professor Wale Soyinka's book
Yes, sir.
and his writing style as well.
Yes.
So, knowing that you're an author at the age of 11,
11.
you got your first book published. Is it safe to say that writing and reading is your favorite hobby? A lot of people have different hobbies. Some like to sleep, some like to dance, some like to do some sports. For you, is it writing and reading? And
Yes.
how often do you do that? Say in a day, how often do you write or read?
In a day, I read for like more than 3 hours. I just sit down and maybe find a book or a storybook. I'll just be reading it. Or if I'm not reading storybook, I'll be writing my stories.
So if you do that 3 hours on a daily basis, when do you have time to read books from schools and do your homework as well?
When I get to do my homework, after doing my homework, I read my books.
You know, I still remember those days where, you know, in
So
between-
no house chores at all?
I have house chores. I do my house chores.
So you're a complete perfect girl. All right, this is
So I'm sure that your mom will be proud of you.
This is Abiodun, you are 11 years. I tell you what, years to come, you're going to watch this interview and you'll be like, oh, I was on TV. You know, it felt
So
really
have you been
good.
introduced to the Nigerian authors?
Yes, association.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, I'm hoping someone is watching.
Yeah, I hope the state chairman of Association of Nigerian Authors, Dr. Omotosho, is watching this morning. You have a new member here with us. Try and get in touch with her, okay?
So what should we expect more from Silva Abiodun? What should we expect? Do
We
we
should
need to
be-
see more about Whispers and Whispers?
Should be expecting more stories, more interesting stories.
Because yeah,
Yeah, if I see a way to publish them.
okay, the ones that you have written
Yes,
that are yet to be published.
yes.
You know, while we're talking about challenges, I was expecting to hear some form of challenges, but I
Yeah.
didn't. But I know it could be a problem in terms
Because I know
of cost of
while you are
production.
publishing this, you must go through some challenges,
Yes,
financial
yes,
and what
yes.
have you.
Was there a point where mommy and daddy said, you know what,
I don't have money, please
we
go
can
and
only
keep
make
that.
50 copies of the book, we can only make 20, we can only make 10. Was there a point like that for you?
Yeah, my dad was going through financial problem, but just because he wanted me to belong to the world, he had to go around to hustle for more.
Daddy, we love you.
Thank you, Daddy.
So I'm hoping that before you need to publish your next book, you know, I'm hoping God sends you help through anybody to ensure production goes well for you. Your story here is 32. It has 32 pages. Aside of the, you know, some of the like directions and all that here, but the story stops at page 32.
True.
You know, not so much for
No, good for age.
yeah, exactly, good for your age, but not too voluminous for people to, you know, enjoy. Was it deliberate? Did you want that to be just limited copies so it doesn't bore your readers?
No, I wanted it to be up to maybe more than 50 pages. But the ones I'm writing now, it should be more than 50 pages.
Okay. Interesting.
So, Silva,
We wish
good to
you
have you here
the very
this
best.
morning, and of course, on a parting note, what advice do you have for your peers out there? Just to make the best use of that time.
I advise them to keep pushing on, continue to use their talents God gave them, and maybe together we can make this world a better place.
Together, we can make this world a better place.
Tell you what,
Miriam,
I sincerely agree with you. Together we can make the world a better place. It's not just a thing you could do alone. We all have to do this sort of thing. I'm saying it again, you're such a motivation to a lot of us, and we're proud of you. We want you to keep being amazing.
Miriam, so start writing from today.
Yes, I'll start pursuing that too. It's important. There's so much we can do with writing, and as a society, when we buy into writing, our histories are preserved, our cultural heritage are preserved, our mindsets, there could be like a gradual positive change in how people see things. Like Whispers and Whispers by Daga Silva Abiodun, which centers around untold truth and miseries around human beliefs. So that's the story, that's the recap, that's the details of her story. And we hope that you grab a copy to support Abiodun, support this young mind, ensure that the spirit doesn't die, and it's a good one for everybody, a good one for Ogun State, Nigeria, and for every young person watching. You can just be like the next Silva Abiodun. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Okay, we will take our break now.
And we'll come back.
And when we come back, it
Trending.
will be time for trending. Please stay with us.
Sahara. We rise, the land of the free, we know the tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like mountain. We swear God, with undying demand. We make solutions, we make passion, yeah. There's a message in this union. We have more than this nation.
We are Nigeria. We are Nigeria. Strength and unity. We know the glory lies. We are Nigeria. We are Nigeria. Together in the dream of a land with no destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Yes, welcome back. Still Morning Flakes on New Dawn this Wednesday morning. And of course, now go straight to the trending stories. So Miriam, what are the stories that we have this morning?
This morning we have quite interesting stories. Like we bring you trending topics as it has unfolded over the week and even in the outgone week. We also feature a particular video which we call the video of the day. This morning we have Mojishola Miranda emerges as Lagos' first female speaker. We have a video and comments on that, and we also have Governor Makinde presents staff of office to the new Alafin of Oyo. We have a boutique owner allegedly orders assault of female employee accused of theft. Musician Ajayi Timileyin beheads his girlfriend for ritual purpose. We also have Tyson Fury announces his retirement from boxing. The video of the day will be featuring a statement made by the former governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Fashola, about the Dirty December and how Dirty December has helped open a positive image for Nigeria. You know the stories, but we will be taking it one after the other. This morning, first we'll be taking the story of the first female speaker in Lagos State, Miranda, who emerged just a few days ago as the first female speaker. Well, history was made on January 13, 2025, as Right Honorable Mojisola Lasbat Miranda was elected Speaker of the State House of Assembly in Lagos, becoming the very first to hold the prestigious position. Her emergence followed the impeachment of the former Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, on the same day. There have been a lot of comments, and we'll play you this video, and when we return, we'll bring you comments of Nigerians about this latest development in Lagos State. Please stay with us.
As we are, it's just a change of pattern, and it's only death that is constant. So change is inevitable. The members of the parliament today has decided to change the leadership of the House. And you know, the Constitution made it clear that the House has the power to regulate its proceedings. So the members of the House felt they've had enough of the Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa. And today, we have unanimously agreed that Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda Lasbat become the new Speaker of the House. So it was a resolution concurred to by all members of the Parliament, and so be it. And Honorable Fatai Mojid Adebola as the Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly. And as we speak, all the principal position has been dissolved, and all the standing committee has been dissolved. So the House, as you can see, we have resolved to work together and ensure that we move the Parliament to the next level. We cannot open our eyes and allow this Parliament to dwindle. We hold the constituents a duty, and we hold Lagos State a duty of ensuring that the sanctity of the House and the integrity of this House is restored. And that is why we have all unanimously agreed to carry out this action to save our image and save the state.
So earlier on,
and affirm that I will be faithful as the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, that I will perform my functions honestly
to the best of my ability, faithfully and in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic.
The first video features members of the State House of Assembly in Lagos State stating why the former Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, was impeached. Some of the grounds were the allegation of financial misconduct, abuse of office, and authoritarian leadership were levied against Obasa. The next video featured the swearing in of the new first female minister.
Okay, I will take this from Toyin Saraki. I'm delighted to congratulate a very dear Aburo, Honorable Mojisola Lasbat Miranda, on being sworn in as the first female Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly yesterday. Honorable Madam Speaker Mojisola Miranda, who has ably represented Apapa 1's Lagos State constituency in the Assembly since 2015, has been re-elected twice in 2019 and 2023 and served as the Deputy Speaker and Chief Whip of the 9th Assembly. That's coming from Toyin Saraki.
Still taking comments, Soro says, it's a new dawn for Mojisola Miranda's rise, the first female speaker. To our surprise, the city's pulse beat through joy and through thrive as energy, materials and health breathe new life. Well, congratulations to the newly elected first female speaker of Lagos State. Riti Ike says, congratulations to the first female speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda. May your reign be worth it. We say a big amen to that. This news, brought a lot of positive remarks from Nigerians, and how much Nigerians have waited to see something like this happen in a city like Lagos, in a state like Lagos State. Okay, we have Temple 01 saying, congratulations to my sister on her historic elevation as Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Right Honorable Princess Mojisola Miranda is our first female speaker and one of the youngest speaker of LAHA. I pray the House under your leadership witnesses unprecedented growth, unity and progress in service to our great state. May your tenure bring positive transformation to Lagos and inspire generations to come. Proud of you. These are wonderful comments from Nigerians, and we know that it will go a long way to motivate the newly elected first female speaker of Lagos State. We now move to the next trending topic, where we have Makinde presents certificate of office to the new Alafin of Oyo.
Yeah.
Well, the Oyo State Governor, Governor Seyi Makinde, has presented the staff and the instrument of office to the new Alafin of Oyo, Oba Abimbola Akim Owade. We'll get you video and comments of Nigerians after this. Please stay with us.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the time of our day. This is it's not a day for long speeches, because the coronation proper so on that day, I will talk. The Alafin stool is very important, not just to Oyo town or Oyo state, but the entire Yoruba race. So, under my watch, I made it very clear that that stool is not for sale. It is not a stool for us to toy with.
Well,
That was the presentation of staff
we were
office.
just talking behind the scene that it's been 3 years,
now,
since the announcement of the demise of the former Alafin of Oyo, and we have seen history being made just recently in Oyo State.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the people of Oyo and the newly
elected Alafin.
Well, the newly installed Alafin of Oyo, Oba Abimbola Akim Owade. Well, I will take comments of Nigerians on this particular topic, but it's just like we know it all. It's all going to be congratulatory comments from Nigerians, the people of Oyo, and for everyone who have heard the news. All we can say is congratulations and long may you reign.
Yeah.
Okay, we take the next trending topic featuring Tyson Fury, who announced his latest retirement from boxing. The former heavyweight champion Tyson Fury announced his last retirement from boxing a few days ago. This is 1 month after losing a rematch with Ukrainian Usyk, Alexander Usyk. Well, you know the stories. Let me not bore you. Let's get videos of this. When we return, we take comments as regards the retirement of the former heavyweight champion. Please stay with us.
Everybody, I'm going to make this short and sweet. I'd like to announce my retirement from boxing. It's been a blast. I've loved every single minute of it, and I'm going to end with this. Dick Turpin wore a mask. God bless everybody. See you on the other side. Get up! Hi everybody, I'm going to make this short and sweet. I'd like to announce my retirement from boxing. It's been a blast. I've loved every single minute of it, and I'm going to end with this. Dick Turpin wore a mask. God bless everybody. See you on the other side. Get up!
Okay, that was Tyson Fury there.
Shortest announcement I've had on retirement so far. But like you heard before now, it's this is coming just 1 month after he lost his match to Usyk. But these careers we're always going to see a lot of people come and go. They say Barack remain, soldier go, soldier come. Boxing is still going to be boxing. There's always going to be champions for every single time. We have a comment from Doug Bear. Congratulations on your magnificent career and showmanship. You showed both in the ring and outside. If this is it, you are and we are appreciated for what you did for boxing and your resilience to your demons outside the ring. True sportsmanship, true sportsman and survivor. Enjoy your retirement. I don't know how to feel about this retirement, especially the fact that this. Anyways, Amanda Gonzalez, Amando.
Yes, so thank you, Mr. Fury, for throwing fist in the ring and showing us how hard you can get hit and rise up again. That's a real fighter. That's coming from Amando Gonzalo.
Well, engaging topic says it's great that he took a moment to reflect and seek advice from those close to him before deciding, rather than just emotionally checking out after a tough loss, like some do. How can you not say? How can you even say that? It's just some of these things. Some people plan their life. Maybe it could just be what he's, figured out a long time ago. Not just really about the losses he suffered from these matches. But people always have what to say. And Tom said, won't get the credit he deserves, and difficult to take this announcement seriously. But to come back from where he was to regain the heavyweight championship of the world would go down as one of sports' greatest comebacks. Well,
yes,
I'm not official.
Respects the king of modern boxing. The Duke's King. Have a beautiful retirement legend.
I've never seen a retirement being made that way. So a lot of people, some people are taking it serious, and other people are still in doubt,
And of course, Manic Joker says, I'm not sure if he's serious about it or not. But both him and Wilder revived the heavyweight class, and I respect them both for that. They brought a new level of excitement and attention to the sport that had been missing for a while. Whatever happens next, their impact is unbeatable.
We're going to miss them, no doubt. Heavyweight championship has always been that match a lot of people look forward to. But like I said before, soldier go, soldier come.
Barack remains.
Barack remains. We take the next trending topic this morning. We have boutique owner allegedly orders assault of female employee accused of theft. Now, this video is one of those videos you see and you have so many questions to ask. How do people take laws into their hands? Were there investigations done? Are there some protections for some of these employees? Are there agreements? You know, there are just a lot of questions people want to ask.
Miriam, aside that, it's common with your gender.
Now we're playing gender victim blaming game.
Yeah, it's common with your gender.
Okay.
You're the first to quick to slap a police, to do this, to do that. You don't see the man doing that.
Yeah, torture. I don't know about men not doing that, but I think it's a personality thing. Anyone could be prone to do anything under the influence of anger. But let's take this video where an alleged a boutique owner, allegedly assault allegedly orders assault of her female employee for a case of theft. We'll be back after the break.
Like I had it.
Okay, let me start by saying that we condemn such act. It's totally inhuman, and nobody should go through that, no matter what the case might be, whether she's guilty or not. There are laws, there are procedures to treat cases like this, and this is not one of the ways. Did you see how they were flogging, that particular lady? We heard that some of the people in that video have been arrested right away. But no matter what it is, we're not saying stealing is good, but we should always resist the urge to take laws into our hands.
Okay, straight to the comment, and I have this from FS Azi. It says, I really want to see justice take its course here, and everywhere suspected wrongdoers are being punished without fair and imperial hearing. We need to stand up against this culture of impunity. No one should be subjected to violence or brutality without a fair trial or due process.
That's the truth. What if it was just like a mistake and an oversight? It could just be anything. What would you do to such person after damaging so many things? Adela said, can people just stop taking the laws into their hands? We have police for a reason. Let them do their job. The owner should also be arrested. I do agree, People, the most annoying part is they had to do this and record it. Record it and have it posted on the internet. It means you had different motive for whatever you did,
Okay, Jacob says, unacceptable. No matter what she did, don't take laws into your hands. Besides, she's a lady, and all this won't call themselves men. Lazy youth.
I mean, you saw the video. So you first of all claimed the lady was quick to anger, but we saw men doing those evil things.
She ordered them to do it.
According New York said this is torture. Torture is unacceptable, regardless of the circumstances, yes. So these are the comments of Nigerians, and you could see from all indications the Nigerians are not happy with that particular video. You know, it's inhuman to do that to anybody. Follow the due process. There are police, there are laws that guide cases like this. Okay, we now move to the next trending topic. If there are no comments more to take on this particular one. The next trending topic will be featuring gospel singer arrested with served corps member's head in Nasarawa. The Nasarawa State Police Command has arrested a gospel singer Timilongi Ajayi for allegedly killing and dismembering this 24-year-old girlfriend Salome Enejo, a member of the National Youth Service Corps, for suspected ritual purpose. This news broke out few in the early hours of yesterday, thereabout, where this man was caught with the head of his girlfriend. So many comments, so many stories, but whatever way you want to see it, this is an inhuman behavior we are seeing to be in the rise in the country right now. And the more we talk about it, the more we show our anger and our displeasure about cases like this. No family member, no friend should go through what the family of Salome Enejo and friends of Salome Enejo is going through. For what purpose? We'll take this video and when we return, we'll bring you comments from Nigerians about this. Please stay with us.
Not like I had a plan in mind.
Simi, you told me that when she came, you caught her doing something. You caught her sex chatting with another man. That was why you killed her. So you tell them, what is it? What has she done to you to deserve this? Tell them.
She was always cheating. She hid most of the things from me most times.
How did you get to know?
Because I saw her phone.
How? When did you get to know?
I saw her phone, like I said.
What did you see in the phone that made you very angry?
Most of the chat with the other guys. That's what I saw on the phone.
So that was when you decided to kill her?
Yes.
Do you have any regrets?
I don't have any regret.
Okay, you don't regret killing her?
I don't.
Why?
Because life is reciprocal. That's what I thought. Life is reciprocal. And if you must be with someone, you have to be reciprocal with that person. You have to understand what that person is going through so that you can actually put yourself in the position that kind of person is going through. So that was why I didn't have any regrets, because we were actually compatible. So that was why.
So, Mr. Timmy, please narrate how it happened, what you saw that made you kill, and how you did it. What happened on that day?
What happened on that day was very simple. I caught her cheating on me, and so I brought it to her awareness that she was cheating. She refused. She didn't want to accept until I showed her the chat and showed her what she did, what she admitted, and told me.
That's, I don't know how to explain my feeling. For start, there was no form of remorse
at all
from this guy. For someone you call your girlfriend, you know, I wonder what was going through his mind to do something like that. Now he's accused her of cheating, and I would say no matter the offense, no one deserves such kind of death. You know, it's so painful, and to see him say things like that is even worse. Like, you're not even sorry about what you did. We also read that there are some form of two stories to this two sides to this story.
Okay, let's say the comments. I played to Nigeria. There needs to be a strong deterrent to all this madness. Death penalty. You kill by sword, you die by the sword. Enough is truly enough. There is nowhere else on this planet where butchering human is so rampant. Kilode.
We saw the video, so yeah, it was definitely a case of butchering.
Yeah.
Alfido said it's high time they start going for the person that demanded the head, either Babalao or whatever, or whoever that demanded the head as accomplice. Haba, this is Atlas. There's just no other way to say it. It's just a sorry case of what our society is turning into. It's one story or the other. Yes, we should not forget that this man was said to be
a gospel artist. It is high time we call the perpetrator of such injurious crime out. Not be only Yahoo boys, they use people. There are so many wolves in sheep's clothing. Call the right person out so that people will be more vigilant.
We also saw a video of a girl testifying that she was almost going to be a victim of this particular guy. Yes, same guy. Michael said,
obviously he has turned himself to a serial killer.
Those are the things people are saying. This could never have been his first time, you know. Michael is saying, may God bless that police officer for rejecting a bribe of 100 million. He deserved to be rewarded. Yes, we saw the video of a policeman stating how he was almost, he was bribed, not even almost, he was bribed to cover up the case for 100 million naira. Well, we hope that the family of Salome Enejo gets the due justice they deserve, and may God bless her soul. This is one of the saddest news I've received so far this week. Mazie Abia said, how do I tell the young people of this generation that ritual killing for money is a scam? When a spiritualist scams you to a certain point and now wants to discharge you, he will give you a difficult task to scare you away. He may ask you to bring the head of your relative or someone dear to you. At this point, someone who's got a living conscience will take to his heels. But you see desperados who will go out of their ways to spill human blood just to get rich. Any spiritualist who says they can make you wealthy with a human's part is a scam. Preach. People need to start knowing that this things it never ends well. So why get involved with it in the first place? Well, that's the story of Ajayi Timileyin, the gospel artist who beheaded his girlfriend for ritual purpose. Finally, we take the video of the day featuring former governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Fashola, talking about Dirty December and how it has opened a positive image in the country. Stay with us.
If you use your search engine and enter Dirty December, you will see an entry by Wikipedia. They're already monitoring what's happening where? Here. So they found out that in the month of December alone, remittances from diaspora is already equivalent to 4% of Nigeria's GDP. Is that a developmental opportunity? Who is curating it? Who is branding it? Who is mobilizing the manpower around it? So nations live on a subset of tourism that they call MICE. MICE is an acronym for meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. But it is about destination. One of the things that has come out of this last event of Dirty December is that it has opened a positive image for Nigeria. All of the young men and young women who came here from other parts of the world are reliving their experiences on social media. So there's interest in the place called Lagos in Nigeria, and we can expand it. And it's for us to be deliberate, to be intentional, and to have mandates around tourism. As our guest lecturer has told us, Dirty December has opened the door. Are we ready to seize it? Why should Dirty December end in Lagos? Why should it not spread? So are we preparing for the next one? Who are going to be the transporters? Who are going to provide the accommodation? There was almost shortage of accommodation. So how many of us are ready to leave our homes, furnish them, do them up, and rent them out during the period? Because the demand will come. And if we don't respond, it will go somewhere else. So for those who have been to Mecca for pilgrimage, those houses we live in, apart from the hotels, can't do it. So people leave their houses, rent them out, and go to their villages to make dollars. That's income, that's opportunity, and prosperity from tourism. But there's a lot of work to be done. And in preparing for the next event, think of beddings, think of fittings, think of maintenance, think of furnishing, think of repairing vehicles, getting everything. The list and the value chain is endless. Ladies and gentlemen, that is where I want to leave this conversation, just to provoke us to think and to act. And as our guest lecturer said, this nation.
Well, that was former governor and former minister of power, Rajiv Babatunde Fashola, at the 55th convocation ceremony in Lagos. And a lot of people were surprised to hear the former governor see Dirty December in a positive side. But that's the obvious, you know. Dirty December, people still talking about it even days and weeks after. We definitely will have to keep talking about it, because this recent one has been an eye-opener for a lot of people, and I think for a lot of Nigerian officials to see that this could be a good one, a good thing to leverage on. What do you think, Dabuji?
So you're saying that we're looking forward to more of it?
Yes, more of obli. What's the word? Obli. More of obli. You know, December has always been singled out for fun.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with having fun and making more money to boost the economy of the country?
Yeah.
I just want to...
You described something that said nice.
Yes. Oh my God. He said it's an acronym.
Yeah.
Exhibition. I just... You know, they're quite interesting, interesting words there. But I just wish also people do not see that as an opportunity to extort foreigners, extort those who just got back. I just got back, set of people. Let's just do what we're supposed to do to encourage them to come home the more. But this is not just about talking about Dirty December. It's how you make the society, the economy conducive for those people.
That is right.
Give them a reason to want to always come back to the country to have a Dirty December. Well, that's our video for the day. Trust you had a great time with us today.
So this is how we can go on the morning flakes of New Dawn. And of course, Dominic and Charity are here to do justice to the second part of New Dawn. So good morning, Charity. Good morning. Once again, Dominic.
I thought you said to do justice to the Dirty December.
No, the one we're expecting now is Dirty Easter.
Dirty Easter.
Yeah.
It's still far.
It's still far. Exactly.
We should have Dirty Valentine.
Okay, that's another one. Yeah, February 14th. That's a Friday.
How do you know?
That's a Friday.
Jeez, always
My birthday is in February.
Okay.
So I should know everything about February.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that.
Well, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And,
well done, guys.
Quite interesting topic you have for the interview segment today.
Yes, please let's go back to the guy who...
I know, the gospel.
The gospel. I don't want to call him the gospel.
The gospel
artist.
Yahoo.
I don't want to call him a gospel artist, because
That's a
if
gospel
you
Yahoo.
are a gospel artist, that means you are ministering to people.
That's
and
it.
you also minister
To yourself. Yeah.
That means what you are preaching is on the lip service.
That is
and
it.
You do not value life. If you can't value life, then why are you going on stages to preach to people, to turn in? You need to live a moral life, and the severity of the crime was something that caught my attention. Why will you butcher someone to that extent. Even when you have a domestic animal you're taking care of, when you see that something happens to that domestic animal, you feel so
that is it.
Let alone
human being.
Someone who you have feelings for, you call your girlfriend and all that. It's something barbaric.
All right.
Anyways,
We say our goodbyes. Bengago Fadiron and I will be leaving now. And all the best for the next segment of the program. Bye for now.
Good people of Ogun State, we have to be careful and be conscious of the increasing rate of kidnapping across the country. Security is everybody's business. We need to be vigilant. Always board vehicles at designated parks and garages. Do not ride motorcycles with strangers. Insist on a one-passenger ride. Avoid late-night movement. Do not accept any directive on phone by unknown persons. Verify any address before embarking on any employment journey. Report any suspicious movement in your area to security agencies or outfits. Be vigilant, be careful, be alert. Announcer, Ogun State Government.
Chief, good morning, sir. You are here already?
No, now my spirit day, my body day for house. What kind of question is that? Were you not the one that fixed this meeting for 8 a.m.? You are now coming by 10 a.m. and start asking me job questions.
But Chief, now, I'm sorry. Don't you also go late for meetings sometimes? You know now, African time.
No more African time. And no more pancaking of face during office hours. At the end of the day, we will lose valuable time. We will not make progress. If we want to move this nation forward, we must treat business as business and respect time. Change begins with me.
Thank you, sir. I am sorry. Can we go for the meeting now, Chief?
Better.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Human trafficking is a modern day.
Well, the program is still new on right here on OGTV, the People's Telly. It's the big conversation, and of course, we have something very important to discuss this morning on the program. I'll allow my colleague, Charity James, to give you a prologue to the conversation.
All right, Dominic, thank you for that. Recently, the Central Bank of Nigeria mandated all banks to meet new minimum capital requirements by March 31, 2026. That is to enhance the stability and resilience of financial system. Okay, I'll give you a breakdown of what the CBN expects from these banks, which is a commercial bank. The CBN is expected that their international authorization should be 500 billion naira by the end of March 31, 2026. For national authorization, 200 billion naira. Regional authorization, 50 billion naira. And for merchant banks, the national authorization is 50 billion naira. Non-interest banks, national authorization, 20 billion naira. Regional authorization, 10 billion naira, and that is why we are bringing to the fore what the CBN is telling banks and why we think the Nigerians should come into this, look at it holistically and see if this is something that is achievable for the banks and every shareholders of the banking sector. Our topic this morning is bank recapitalization, and we have two guests in the house. One will be joining us via Zoom, Abiodun from the United Kingdom. Dr. Is Mohammed Adebeshi, Customer Advisor, Lords Bank Group, United Kingdom. You're welcome, Mr. Mohammed Adebeshi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming and joining us on OGTV. Now we have a guest in the studio with us who is someone that is into that sector, who will be telling us a lot about this topic. Dr. Muideen Isiaka is the coordinator of Abiodun Business School and also a senior lecturer at the Department of Economics and Aquarius Service Sciences, Crescent University here at Abeokuta, Nigeria. You're welcome, Doctor.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you for coming on the program. Now, the bank recapitalization, we still have 14 months to go. That is 14 months to go for the deadline, the threshold that has been set for them. So we want to ask Mohammed Adebeshi, what are the things that you saw in this policy of the central bank and how it will help the banking sector? Adebeshi.
Well, thank you very much, and good morning.
Good morning.
We got everyone in the studio. To start with, the word is recapitalization. And then that means there is an initial capitalization. That's why we are having a recapitalization. Let me put it that the first capital is made up of its equity and then its long-term debt. But equity component of the share capital, or the equity structure of the capital, is the share capital. And the argument for share capital is that there's regulation for share capital because the more share capital the bank has, the more it can withstand shocks, the more it can handle transactions, and then the more ability it has to withstand losses. Before now, prior to 1952, there was no share capital requirement for banks. So any banks operated in the Nigerian colony, there was no requirement of share capital at all. Not until indigenous banks started coming in around 1952, and then there was the issue of low capacity, poor staffing, indigenous banks started having issues of fraudulent practices, people losing money. That was when the colonial government thought of it as they need to put a regulation in place. And the first regulation that came in 1952 was that banks that want to operate in Nigeria, aside the foreign banks, should have the minimum capital requirement of £25,000. That continued till 1958 when it was increased to £200,000. And ever since then, there has been the call for share capital adjustments to make banks more secure. Now, to further clarify that, you see, the increase in capital requirements also increase the stake of the shareholders. Because if you don't increase share capital requirements, the stake of the shareholders will dwindle. So they don't have to bother if the bank goes under. They've got nothing to lose. But when you increase the share capital of the bank, the shareholders' stake becomes higher. And they take it more seriously that the bank must not fail. Apart from the part of the regulator that also regulate that the banks should not fail. Also, when you increase share capital, share capital regulation is a proactive means from the CBN so that the banks, if they go into crisis, they can come out of it. And it's also a reactive means from the CBN so that banks don't eventually fall into crisis due to low capacity. And now, coming to the current capitalization, 20 years ago, there was a capitalization, there was a bank capitalization done to 25 billion. If you remember that time, Nigeria had 89 banks. When the capitalization came on board, the banks were reduced to 25. That tells you how much importance it is. Capacity is important. Nigeria to do business. Nigeria is a growing economy, and the capital requirements to run within Nigeria is very higher. Also, there's the issue of inflation and devaluation of the currency that just crept in. So 25 billion naira that banks used to have before, if you take it to dollars today, you'll be having less and less and less. You can imagine the level of devaluation. So it is a positive move for the CBN to have increased the bank capitalization the way they just done now, so that our banks can have more capacity. Okay. You can imagine our investors want to do business. Our local banks can afford to finance some kind of investments. Now the likes of Dangote, the likes of Bia, the likes of Abiodun, maybe they will have to go to foreign banks to raise capital or to raise funds for business. It does not speak well of a country of about 250 million people, and that its banks cannot fund such high capacity projects. Even as we speak now, with the 500 billion requirement for commercial banks that will have international operations, it is a good move, but it is still a kind of factor when you look at what banks of such nature can do outside the shores of Nigeria. Okay. So I think that explains clearly why the capitalization is highly required. It is necessary for security of the banks, for the shareholders to have a major stake. They have a lot to lose if something happens. And don't forget that these banks, apart from the share capital, they also have their physical assets, which are tied to the banks and the shareholders as well. So no bank will want to take unnecessary risk or do unnecessary practices that will get the bank under. The shareholders will shout. But the shareholders don't have this stake in the bank. Okay. They may not bother that what they will be losing to the bank go under may not be what we take them to by the jugular.
All right, thank you, Mr. Adebeshi. Now let's come back to Dr. ISEYA. What the objectives of this recapitalization? Do you think it is implementable within the time frame? Now, from January till March next year, we have 14 months thereabout. Do you think the central bank will be serious enough to implement this threshold that they're given all the sectors of the bank?
Okay, thank you very much. It has become a regulation, and it is for the bank to meet it. So the banks are already mapping out plans. We have seen adverts of strategies that different banks are trying to implement to make sure that they meet the timeline. So I believe they will meet it, because there are different options for them. So they would have engaged consultants, they would have done the analysis of the scenario, where they will get foreign money from foreign, where the existing customers and the existing shareholders and the like. So I believe it is possible, because I don't think CBN will come back on the route.
Do you think the policy is necessary at this time? Is
yes.
it a necessary one?
If you look at it, you say 25 billion. You are now talking of 200, 500. It's not 25 to 30. It's not 25 to 35, which shows that the deficiency that CBN saw there would have been there long time ago. So it looks like something that we would have done long time ago. Maybe we could have moved from 25 to 50 at a time. Then after some time, move to 70, move like that. So the major issue is, what are we looking at that gave long time that we now need to jump so wide like that?
To 500 billion.
To 500 billion. That is just the concern. But that we need it is clear. If we are not needing, maybe they are saying 25 to 27, we say, okay, what is the difference? So it shows that there's deficiency there. Another thing is, Nigeria is aiming to reach over 1 trillion economy by 2030. So when you are doing things like that, the kind of transaction that the banks will need to finance has changed. So they also need to be at the top. There is a kind of structural change in the Nigerian economy. For example, with the deregulation of electricity, some big companies may decide to generate their own power. So the kind of investment required in such area is different. So if you are talking of, if you want consortium of money deposit bank to finance maybe Lagos, Calabar, Abuja, Nasarawa, something rail or whatever. So they will have the money. So we need it. Nigeria economy has grown out of where they were. So we needed it. The only issue is whether we would have done it earlier than this, so that the pace, so the instability that the gap may cause is just the issue.
Now people are now saying that from 25 million naira to 500
billion.
Okay, 25 billion naira to 500 billion naira. That will put some kind of pressure and strain really on the banks. Do you think anything of such may happen?
Yes, it will happen. The only thing is that the stress they will pass through to achieve it is what we don't know yet. There are things some banks may like to do it on their own, but when they try, they cannot get it. That may make them to be discussing merger or whatever. So they may need to take option that they wouldn't have chosen if they had maybe more time, or if the gap hadn't be that wide. That is the lesser target to me. So that is just the issue, but it is achievable, and we actually need it, and then we needed it before now. So that is the implication of the wide. What the wideness, the gap will be telling us that we ought to have done it before now.
Now, Mr. Abiodun, let me come to you and let us look at the economy really as it is. Quite a number of persons, yes, also of the opinion that it's a good one, it's a welcome development really to recapitalize the banking sector. But some persons are saying coming at a time when we just removed fuel subsidy, coming at a time when we just floated the naira, and of course we all know the effects that these two policies have actually had on the economy, that it might actually not really be the best of times to recapitalize. And even if we are going to recapitalize, that target of 500 billion naira may actually not, it shouldn't be that much. What's your thought really on this?
Yeah, thank you. I think the reasons that people give why it should not be done are the real reasons why it should be done. Because if there's inflation, if there's a removal of subsidy, if the naira is devalued, we should not forget that we don't exist in a vacuum. There is relativity to international economics in all those things. We are just looking at the naira value, 500 billion. But if we are talking about investments, if we are talking about multinational investments, if we are talking about financing Nigerians to become multinationals as well, don't forget that multinationals doesn't have to be foreigners. Nigerian businesses too could be multinational. So if we are saying Nigeria wants to finance its own business, its own economy, if we want to build a Nigerian economy, it doesn't have to be within Nigeria. In fact, we should conquer Africa. So when you look at 500 billion, if you take it to dollars, you will see that it is just because we are talking in a currency that has been devalued. And if we are talking in terms of this, establishing business, you don't source all your materials locally. You are involved in importation. You have stakeholders. Don't forget that in raising this same 500 billion we're talking about, you're talking about foreign injection of capital as well. So if it is not raised to that students have raised it to that level, they have done put together all the metrics to look at the bank to be able to stabilize and handle such level of transactions. My colleague who is in the studio just mentioned that we are looking at achieving a $1 trillion dollar economy just on the line. Those goals are not just on paper. They are goals that if you want to achieve it, you have to take the bull by the horn. They are not just rhetoric. And it takes a lot of guts to put in place such policy. And I must commend the CBN government for being able to take such a tough decision. You see, at times what happens with the public is that social media has made it that many people, the people who know less and less comment more and more. There are some countries so things are not easy with people, but banks are not individuals. And that's the main reason why it is better for the banks when the shareholders' size increase, when the shareholders' risk increase, when the bank capitalization is high. Don't forget that it is equity, not their debt. If you ask them to go and generate 500 billion debt, that's not a big deal. But it is the share capital that we're talking about that you should hit 500 billion. And that makes the bank also a major risk taker in the whole thing. No bank wants to have 500 billion at stake and wants the bank to go under. Nobody wants to risk that. But if it is 25 billion, sorry to say, some corruption malpractices, everything to that, look at the risk factor and look at if I lose it, if I gain it, what do I gain, and they don't see the calculation. And they don't give a damn, and everything goes under. They start chasing people around. You know what the legal history of Nigeria is? You can be on legal matters for 20 years. What is it called? AMCON. How many debts has AMCON been able to retrieve? How many? How many depositors have lost money before now that have been able to recoup their money? It's so far away, so another bank cannot that we have it. So to prevent all such things happening, this is necessary. The amount we are looking at is not for an individual, it's for an institution. And don't forget, it is for commercial banks that are having international presence that require 500 billion. If it's a national bank that is not having international presence, it's 200 billion. It comes down 50 billion, even up to non-interest banks that have national presence for 30 billion and the ones that have regional presence for 10 billion. So nothing says you must play the 500 billion bill. If you don't play the 500 billion bill, come back to 200 billion. I think when I say international, when I is on 200 billion. So if Access Bank, Zenith Bank, UBA are playing international, they should be on that pedestal. So there's no sentiment about the whole thing. And also, banks it never stops banks from merging. And when you merge, more shareholders come together, your risk is also higher, and it makes it healthy for everybody.
Okay, Mr. Adebeshi, let's look at. Are you there? Okay, let's look at the wave of merger that would happen when there's a recapitalization and not met in some banks or acquisition. Do you think it will come, or you think all those banks will work towards the threshold and be able to overcome the time frame and come out with positive things when it comes to time for them to start fully on the new policy?
Yeah, so in analysis of business decisions, stakeholders sit down and look at what's their goal. And we look at plan 1, this is what we want to achieve. Plan B, if we don't achieve plan A, we should follow B. As of now, all banks want to stand alone. Because when you talk of merger, even when the merger is on equal times, somebody is swallowing up somebody. And that's the fact. But it is good because the bigger, the stronger. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you are in the business of banking, and what you aim to do, what the stake for the executives is to increase the shareholders' pool. And to increase the shareholders' returns, it is to do business ethically and do business properly. Also take advantages of the areas of investment in the economy. Another thing I would like to mention is that the government needs to come hard on intervention because the banks seem to only want to finance the big names, the blue chips, because they feel that's where their money is more secure. I think the government needs to come in with some kind of security for the SMEs and the new starters so that they can access bank funding. It's not, accessing credit in Nigeria is not easy. I worked in bank in Nigeria, and when I left Nigeria, I was a banker also. And I know what it is. The only small or medium income earners that will get a loan easily in the bank are the salary earners. And that is because their salary comes to the bank. If you're a business person, you rather push it to that, you rather go to microfinance bank to get funding. Because you don't even have the requirements. Because you don't have the CFO. So government needs to come in, and if government is serious about turning the economy around, the multiplier effect of finance for small and medium enterprises is more important to taking care of poverty than having hundreds of the likes of Dangote. They will only continue to employ people to work for them. They will create entrepreneurs. They will create new people that will grow business. Look at agribusiness, for instance. What's agriculture like? You have expanse of land. Why is agriculture not booming? It is not only because of expertise. Funding is part of this. We keep operating at subsistence level. If you want to look at commercial agriculture, you have to be looking at Olam. You have to be looking at the big names. You are foreigners. And these people don't come to do food crops. They come to do cash crops because they have to make money. They have to export these things to their countries where their industries need them. How many big farmers do food crops? Everybody gets cash crops. The money is in cashew, the money is in maize, industries like dairies and all that. Who goes to do cassava? Every person goes to do cassava. You know the poultry we talked about, poultry on live scale, how many? So it's not just about just the capitalization, they need to come in with regulatory requirements and government intervention to secure funds given to SMEs. So that the bank can be secure that, okay, funds given to certain level of people, the government is guaranteeing that to the large extent, if there are issues, if you have to sit and work it out, it happens everywhere in the world.
Okay.
When we have bailouts, we have social support structures, we have social benefits and all that. It is not that any government is a case mask. It's just that if you don't do it, you end up spending more than that to solve the problem that it will cause.
Okay, let me come to Dr. ISEYA now. The other time, Mr. Adebeshi raised the issue of SMEs and applying for loans. Don't you think this raising bar of the capital requirement of banks now will make it more cumbersome for them to even go near the banks? Before now, it was a very serious process. Now, if it is raised from the 25 billion naira to 500 billion naira for commercial banks, are we saying the SMEs should operate within their capital without going to banks for loans and grants?
Okay, thank you. In my own view, instead of increased capitalization, making it difficult, I believe it will make it easier. Okay. The reason is that banks will have more money to work with. In fact, out of 200 billion, you may dedicate 25 billion, let's assume that is the scale of your operation, to the SME, because you now have more money. And if CBN bring a rule and say so amount out of your loan should be to SMEs and co, because the money is there, so we can be talking of all those ones. So there will be a lot more. But there's one issue. When we say bank is not ready to give SMEs loan, we are looking at it like from one side. Why would bank not want to give SMEs loan? If they give loan, they make return. So they are doing business. The only thing is the risk of getting the money back. Now, if they give money to SMEs and then they cannot get it, do they have anywhere to go to? Can they report it? Do we have something the way we have PFCC? Can they hand it over to government and say, help us recover our money or whatever? They will not get any support. So that is why they continue to increase the requirement to make sure that they minimize the risk. In our area, in our environment, you could hear somebody taking even the microfinance loan or even cooperative loan. When you get back, you'll be looking for all kind of way to avoid it. So when would they do that to a level, it will become difficult for another person to get it. So we also need to look at it from that area. I don't think it is their interest to say they will not give loan, but it's because of the risk. So if government guarantee some SMEs now that, okay, we want money to go to agricultural processors and the like, and government guarantee that if you don't get your money back, we give you 50% of it. More of them will get it because the bank, the risk that the bank is taking has reduced. So those kind of things can reduce it. So concerning SMEs, I believe there will be more money for banks to help them.
Now, Mr. Adebeshin, let's look at another fear some persons in some quarters have actually raised as well about the recapitalization, and that's the fear of downsizing in terms of personnel and staff. But quite a number of persons are of the opinion that yes, the banks can actually achieve this recapitalization of the different amounts based on their category, and then with a little, really, with a minimal or no downsizing at all. So what would you really suggest? How would you suggest the banks, go about achieving these recapitalization targets, and of course with a minimal or no downsizing at all?
Okay, thank you. There are two different issues. Downsizing or reducing staff strength does not raise your capital requirement. It's only an attempt to increase your profit. Before it can have that effect on capital requirements, it's in the long run, not in the short run. So if people say banks will have to downsize, then that means the banks will not be achieving their spread. But downsizing in banks is not new. From time to time, banks are about the highest recruiters and they are about the highest downsizers as well. It's this kind of system that it's a kind of a cycle, maybe bringing in new people, but I don't want to use terms that are capitalist in nature, like when you take up the heavy, maybe you have to pay heavy funds, everything at some point they have to go, and you bring in fresh people that are at a lesser cost, train them over time. There's that kind of recycling in the system, and it's not new, it's not now. So if banks, whether banks do 500 billion or they do 500 billion every year, at some point, banks will downsize. Because banking, the way it is run in Nigeria, is target driven. So when you are in sales or you are in any unit, you run appraisals. And when you run appraisals, and it's already believed that if you are below certain level in your appraisal for maybe 2 times or 3 times, you will leave. So a marketer that has a target of 22 billion to deliver, and then the first appraisal is due 20%, the second appraisal is due 20%, the third appraisal is due 20%. That person has to go. So that's what I said earlier. I spent about 15 years in banking, and I've been in operation and sales, so I know how this things work. If you say banks will always downsize because the system that is run in banks is an appraisal metrics that has its terms and conditions clearly stated. It's only maybe if government comes in and there are labor regulations and all that, they fight all these things because it's not only in other clients, banks operate and you don't see them down. They don't downsize this way. And the system of operation of chasing targets and all that is not always the same as the way it is done in Nigeria. But that's another issue. So bank recapitalizing is a different ballgame entirely. It is for them to be able to stand the test of resilience. It is for them to be able to finance the level of business and transactions that is required at their level. So if a bank chooses to downsize, how will it expand? You can't achieve the two at the same time. You can't say you want to downsize and you want to expand. You don't. It's not if you downsize, you employ more to replace those who downsize and increase it more. Or there's no short cut about it. If banks downsize, it is for a different reason. Maybe they want to take out non-performing staffs, they want to bring in new staff, or they are bringing experienced people from other places. It's happening. Bankers move around. That will always happen irrespective of capital base. It is the system. And in fairness to the bank, even an employee at the point is being employed is not saying that you are going to run a performance metric where your appraisal is based on this. And if you do this for so time, the bank can ask you to do. So I think that explains that.
Now let's talk about how the banks can actually go about. I don't know if you have actually touched on that really in the explanation, how the banks can go about achieving, these particular targets?
Yeah, to achieve the capital requirement, just as I told you earlier, this is finance. They have their books. A lot of people want to invest. Even apart from the people who buy the shares locally, there are a lot of foreign investors who have liquidity and we are looking for where to push funds. Just to diversify, in the agri sector, Saudi Arabia just invested about $500 billion in dollars, taking up a major stake in dollars. It's at some point in million baht, there's an investment team from the UK that was having about 60% of million baht until recently when that changed. So these banks investors only need to look at their books and look at what they are doing alongside the economic forecast of the country. For instance, the recent stabilization of the naira is a positive one because investors don't want to go where the currency is very volatile. Even if naira is 2005 to a dollar, which we don't pay for, but if it is stable, it is easy for projection. It is easy to take business decisions. But if it is 1.5 today, tomorrow it is 900, next tomorrow it is 1,002. If it is volatile, if you look at the currency index, look at pound, dollar, euro, you see that their changes is always less than 1%. It's just 0.3, 0.4. It moves the year round. You can actually see the volatility gets to 1%. Or even 1.5, you have to see. But if you look at Naira, it's just jumping in double digits. And that's investors don't like that.
Okay, Dr. ISEYA, let's talk about the interest rates now. Some people fear that with this new recapitalization policy, the interest rate that is somehow very hard affecting businesses and the economy now will also be increased. Do you think it is something that these banks will look into, and how will it affect the economy if it is increased peradventure when they come on board, when the new recapitalization starts by March 31, 2026?
Okay, thank you. There are a lot of factors that determine the interest rate. The CBN benchmark given to them is also part of it. Then they will look at how risky the business they are putting the money into is. So when they have more money after the whole process, they will be looking for a way to use the money. So it could generate another set of competition among those that survive at the end of the day, as they will not want to be redundant. You cannot have so much billion and then you are working with less than half of it like that. So as they are trying to do that, it is also possible to have low interest option in some area that meet their target. So I don't think because they want to get their, I can't think of any reason why they will be increasing interest rates because of increased capitalization. So it may actually reduce the interest rate because one of the risks is that when you have money and then you are thinking if this money doesn't come back, how will it affect me? But if that money is just 0.0001% of your entire money, then you don't really bother much like that. So there's no panic, and then you can reduce the cost on it. So that's.
What if the interest rate is increased?
If the interest rate is increased, it will have implication on the cost of doing business in other parts or other businesses, and it will also contribute to inflation to some extent, because all the businesses, all the people that are using their loan to fund the business, the part of it they will need to recover before they can now talk of profit will be higher. So it will increase cost of business and then will lead to higher inflation.
Okay, Mr. Debeshin, largely now on the program we'll be looking at the commercial banks. Now let's talk about the merchant banks and the non-interest banks. Their authorization is 50 billion and 20 billion for the national authorization. Do you think this will bring any impact to their growth, impact to how they operate, impact to how their shareholders will be able to operate within the banking scope?
Thank you. The decision of the CBN to place their own capital requirements very low. And so from my own experience, I would say at times when you want to encourage entry into a particular industry, or you want to encourage more participants, you make conditions very easy. The entry in commercial bank is very, very competitive because it is already saturated. But the interest bank and merchant banks are very few. So if the CBN could have put that in place, one, to encourage entry, two, based on the level of transactions they handle, based on the level of what they do. So they have taken a costly look at the merchant banks we have in Nigeria, the non-interest banks, what they are currently doing, what their current capital base compared to their level of transactions. One fact is that Nigerians have not really embraced non-interest banking. It's a new form of banking. And I don't think 80% of Nigerians are even aware that there's something called merchant banks.
Merchant bank.
So for that reason, the CBN will be very, very unrealistic to not put stringent conditions on them when they are already an endangered species. So that could explain why they have to tone down on them. And don't forget that they are few, so their supervision and all that is easier with CBN and their level of transactions. I don't think the merchant banks or the non-interest banks, as it is now, have capacity to finance some kind of a transaction. The CBN will not allow them unless they are coming together as a consortium. Maybe 3 or 4 non-interest banks or 3 or 4 merchant banks are coming together to take up financing a particular business venture. Most of those is done by the commercial banks. Not even the microfinance banks can just take deposited money and the shareholders and go and trade somewhere. There's a benchmark, there's a ratio of the amount of your capital you can trade with. That you can have. There's the CBN adequacy ratio for each of these products. Up to loans, their CASA, current and savings, and all that. So that defines those requirements. So I will conclude that it is because that area of banking still needs to be supported to grow. So first we have defined why their conditions for entry are still a kind of encouragement.
Now, still staying with you, Mr. Adebeshi, you have, from what you said, you worked in the banking sector all your life. Of course, I know you still have friends, really, in the banking sector in Nigeria, where you left before moving over to the UK. Now, from your interactions with them, are the banks actually putting in place measures to actually achieve these targets? Don't forget, it's less than 18 months to the deadline.
Thank you. I can tell you that some of the banks have already met that target.
Oh.
Some of the banks are already playing in that.
Already? Wow.
Very small bank. So the top commercial banks, I don't think they will struggle to do that, because when the regulator sets a target, they do set it blindly. They have a back-end information.
Definitely.
What is happening. And those who need to double up to catch up, they know. And those who need to catch up that need to go to Madra, they know. It is just a kind of, like I said, I think when I started, I said increasing share capital is also to increase shareholders' risk. So that you can't be playing with 5 trillion and your shareholder risk is 25 billion, 30 billion. It's 35 on the mountain. So if the share capital is increased, 500 billion, definitely the CBN has information what level of transactions these banks carry out. Don't forget that these banks these first-tier banks are not just Nigerian banks. A lot of them already have presence up to the UK. They have presence in France, have presence in the US. So to assess their capital base for 500 billion, their foreign location is also a factor that they consider into that. Don't forget that despite they are based internationally, they are still Nigerian banks.
Now,
so that is
now, you said that some of these banks, I'm coming to you now in the studio. Okay. He said that some of these banks have actually met, they are operating in that sphere, in that area already. While, of course, some of them, yes, are making efforts to really get there. I don't know why you were talking earlier on, you also said that there will be room, really, for mergers, for those who are not able to accomplish or to hit that target, they can merge with other banks. Now, does that have any impact? Because when banks are merging, it means that we are going to have a reduction of the number of banks that we are going to be having in the country. Now, does that have any impact, really, on the economy when you have a reduced number of banks?
Yes, thank you very much. You asked a question before about downsizing. That merger is the area that can actually lead to downsizing. Because by the time 3-4 banks are coming together, some rules that they have somebody carrying it out in bank A, B, C, D, they now need one person to be doing it for one bank. So others, if they cannot find rule for them, they will need to go.
Ask them to go.
Okay. But it may also create new rules, like he said before. Now, if the number of banks are reducing, we're having the market players are becoming fewer. And from an economics perspective, the lower the number of players that you are, the less competitive the market is. If they now reduce and they now become like 8, that's a problem, because it means that they can just have, if 6 of them can have meeting and say we'll be doing this, it will be like we have only one. So reducing, having the number very few is not good for us. So I pray that if that will happen, it will not be much at all. Banks themselves don't like the merging because there are a lot of issues. Banks have different structure, they have different culture, they have different operational modality. The people that founded the bank, they have different business orientation, different rules of ethics and professionalism. So when you bring them together, even after they operated for many years, you find out that it's difficult for all the customers you brought, all the staff you brought from bank A to adapt to that of a bank B they have merged with. Some customers will not be satisfied because the orientation is totally different. So there are a lot of issues on the margin. There are the previous merger that happened. Some of the banks were not able to perform well because of some of these structures that they did not envisage before that actually happened to them. So it's a serious matter, and I believe they will consider it only as last option.
Okay, the last time we had recapitalization in Nigeria, I think there were lessons that should be learned. Now we are having a new one, a new policy of recapitalization. Do you think we have crossed our T's, dot our I's on the last recapitalization, and this new recapitalization, will it be a way forward to enhancing our economy?
Thank you. I believe that the CBN will have done scenario analysis of how the thing can play out. They have the history of what happened, the previous one. So the banks also, including the bank staff, they have the history of what happened before, and everybody will try to avoid making the same mistake. In every situation, new issue will come up at the end of the day, but I believe that because we have done it before, we have experienced it, we have discussed the advantages and disadvantages, this one has the opportunity to be better. If you look at the duration of time they give them, I believe that is part of the lesson from the previous one, that okay, you have to, it shouldn't be rushed, so you can plan it. Some banks actually meet it in 3 months, like he said. Some already in other West African countries, they are the biggest bank. A bank in Nigeria that we look at, is the biggest in that place that is stretching every other one, something like that. So some of them are operating on a large scale, they can meet it, but they have given that rule. And then the way they have also classified, there are those that are operating at this level. If they have made 100 billion for all of them, you know, it will have serious implication for those that are not at that level.
Okay, that's
so, and there were regulations that have come before. Before they have told them that if you know you cannot operate at national, then come to regional. No, some of those things were not there before. So now they are able to give them targets that they think they could meet.
All right,
so,
thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Muhyiddin Isiaka, who is the coordinator of Abeokuta Business School and also a senior lecturer at the Department of Economics and Aquarial Sciences at Crescent University, Abeokuta, here in Nigeria. And we also had a program with Mr. Mohamed Adebeshi, a customer advisor at Leos Bank Group, United Kingdom. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the program. And that's the size of the program for this morning. We'll be leaving the stage for other programs for the day, but we'll come back as Neodon said on Friday to have another edition. And for tomorrow, it will be for the Yoruba version. But until then, we say have a blessed day ahead. And from Dominic Agbea.
Yes, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Weaknesses to God in our lives is the conscience. If you don't nurture it, if you don't expose it to the right virtues, the right values, the right things, instead of seeking after God and crying after God, it can resist, it can oppose, it can reject everything God. It's not everyone who is living with that conviction. There are some who are even born again, but somewhere in the segment of their mind, there is a dedication that this one is for aggregate or the juju of our community. So even though they come to church speaking tongues, they have not exalted the supremacy of God, the monopoly of God. And once you do that, you have a stained conscience.
ISEYA, ISEYA,
welcome you all this week on another edition of Peace and Conflict Resolution on your darling station, OGTV. Yes, I am Oba Oluwaseunfunmi Ogunleye. Today we shall be discussing on a topic ensuing dispute in our society. I have in the house Barrister Adegbero Ogunbade, who will do justice to this